Hey guys, what's up? Son of Chelsea back here again for a new series, a new video. On Twitter last night I put out a poll saying whether you want to see me start one of two new series. One of them was a new career mode, another one was this, the BPL review, and that is what you guys asked for. I'll be talking about some of the key things from the weekend, my opinions on it from the games, so let's get to it. If you do like this video guys and you want to see this series continue in the future, give the video a thumbs up. Also comment down below on everything I'm saying, so let's get to it. So basically the way I'm going to do this is 5 big kind of talking points or matches basically. Firstly, Bournemouth have to change their tactics. This is the first point. Of course, they lost 1-0 to Newcastle. It was a very unlucky game from Bournemouth, and they have been a lot this season. But I'm going to kind of be very honest here. I think you can only be unlucky for so long, and unfortunately in the Premier League, teams that are unlucky week in, week out usually do go down in the end. I have so much respect for Eddie Howe as a manager. I have so much respect for what he's done at the club, and I think it's so commendable coming up to the Premier League and wanting to play a style and saying, no, I have this philosophy and we're playing that this way. But if Bournemouth want to stay in the Premier League, they're going to have to adjust. Some games they're going to have to give away possession. They're going to have to defend a little bit more deeper. They're going to have to be a little bit more kind of aggressive and kind of just grind out results, because that's what you need to do in the Premier League if you want to stay up. You have to sometimes change your tactics. Bournemouth as well have been very unlucky with injuries to key players. Callum Wilson, who scores them so many goals, at the start of the season he was on fire, but he got that injury. Max Gradel, also Tommy Elphick, their captain, who's been out, which is just big players that have been injured. But sometimes even then you still have to change your tactics, and once those players do come back, then they can start to change their tactics, be a little bit more attacking. But right now, Bournemouth need points. Second is Jurgen Klopp losing for the first time as Liverpool manager at home to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are a very good side. They have a habit of doing this. They've beaten Liverpool in their last 3 games in the Premier League. Last 3 meetings they've beaten Liverpool. It looked like Jurgen Klopp had turned around what had happened at Liverpool. He got that massive win at Chelsea, also the game in the Europa League. I think though Liverpool fans can't be angry at Jurgen Klopp, and I don't think a lot of them are, but I think it's definitely a case where it's Brendan Rodgers' fault. I think a lot of the problems for Liverpool are still from the Brendan Rodgers era. His wasting money in transfer window, buying in players who aren't up to the standard, and it's clearly now showing. All Jurgen Klopp can do is work with the players he has, try and get something out of them in games, and hopefully for him get to January and maybe make some signings. Until then, these are still Brendan Rodgers players, and I think he's done well to get where he is, and he's clearly a quality manager, and I think he will turn it around. He's not in a desperate position, of course, and I'm sure for Liverpool fans they've got to have a bit of perspective. He's only been in the job you're just maybe nearly not even a month yet he's been in the job. So I think definitely in a case where he's going to have to work with those players he has till January, and maybe for him he gets a bit of money and can start to develop and start to bring in players of his own. Good win for Crystal Palace, but still work for Jurgen Klopp to do at Liverpool. Number 3 is the North London derby. It ended 1-1. I watched the game, and it was probably one of the most it was quite an immersive game. I think I got to give some credit to Spurs. They went there, looked very good at Arsenal, at the Emirates, looked very good. Pochettino's definitely got a group of players now, a group of young, hungry players who are willing to work for him. He's finally playing the football he wants. To go there with the age of that team and the fact it is a North London derby at the Emirates and go and dominate a team like Arsenal for nearly 75 minutes, that is very impressive. A bit tricky for Mesut Ozil, the ball in for Kieran Gibbs, who came on as a substitute, getting that equaliser. You could probably blame Hugo Lloris for not standing up. I think if he would have stood up there, he probably would have saved that. Also, I think probably Tottenham should have put the game to bed in some ways. They had a long period of extended possession. They looked like they were on top of Arsenal. Arsenal looked pretty much done for a load of the game. They looked so tired. Players not tracking back, constantly intercepting the ball. Tottenham looked hungrier than Arsenal for a load of that game. But Arsenal, in a situation where they looked down and out, they were able to get something. Probably for them, they probably wanted a win, of course. But for them, losing situation against their biggest rivals, to get a point is a good result going into the international break. So I think Tottenham can feel a little bit disappointed considering they were 1-0 up and played so well. Dele Alli really impressed me. Harry Kane looked clinical, back to what he was last season. I think Lamela even impressed me a lot with his work rate. Didn't shy away from things and did really well. Kyle Walker as well. So a lot of those Tottenham players I think were quite impressive to me. And Arsenal got a point where maybe they didn't deserve one, but that's what you've got to do at the top of the league to continue to win points. Point number 4 is about Chelsea. Now, there's my thoughts on the game. It's very tough to talk about this, but I think it is a good win for Stoke. They definitely now improved as a team. They've kind of been quite disappointing considering I thought they'd be way up with West Ham and Everton and Leicester, those sort of teams, considering the fact the quality they brought in. But I definitely think now they're going to start to pick up some form as they have. That'll be a big confidence boosting win for them. Chelsea, once again, as I say, go and watch my review of it. My thoughts, it's another depressing day, but all we can do, continue to support the team and hope that things do turn around in the end. And the last point, Claudio Ranieri and Leicester. I want to give some praise to that team. The job he's done there is brilliant, and considering the fact that people like Gary Lineker, so many pundits, experts in the league, were giving him so much stick when he got appointed as Leicester manager. And in fact, he's gone in there, he's won so many games, he's got Jamie Vardy scoring bundles of goals for him, winning matches, getting him in the top half of that table. It's been a brilliant start to the season, and I think we should give some respect for Claudio Ranieri. He's done a brilliant job. He's gone in there, especially from a Chelsea perspective, considering what he's done at Chelsea. Have a lot of respect for him, and I'm happy for him because I think he does deserve it. And hopefully he gets that praise because they're continuing to win games. They're in no danger of relegation, and I'll say that right now. At worst, I think they'll probably be a mid-table team. I think probably as the season progresses, maybe their form will drop off in the end, but they're still playing well. They're getting those wins. They're getting the points. Well done to Jamie Vardy for continuing to score goals, just week in, week out scoring goals, proving to be one of the players of the season. They've also got players like Morris in there, quality players. King Power Stadium is going to be a tough place to go to this season. So that has been it. 5 points from the weekend about the Barclays Premier League. Those were my thoughts. Those were my opinions. Leave me your comments on everything I've said. Also your opinions. What were some of your highlights of the weekend? Thoughts on the matches? As I said at the start of the video, if you do like this series and want to see more of it, give the video a big thumbs up. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Son of Chelsea. Also, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. FIFA videos, Chelsea videos, and maybe some more Premier League review videos. We don't know. That's your decision. Thank you guys, and I'll see you again. It's probably one of the most painful defeats of the season, I think, just simply because we actually played well. There's been so many games this season where we've been absolute crap, and I've had no excuse for